Play of tonight's encounter, but everybody holding their breath and crossing their fingers and toes, and we're ready to go for you. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Snap back, handed off to Gibbons, starts right, dances through the first contact, and then is stood up and still fighting for yardage as the scrum continues upfield. Gibbons just not going to go to the turf, and he'll battle his way upfield for about 3, maybe a 4-yard pickup.
Great effort. He was stopped dead right at the line of scrimmage, and he just kept on churning the legs, and everyone got behind him, kind of pushed him forward. And we have an injured player on the field.
Ruffers have a guy down on the far sideline, and we've got a timeout on the field. 10:09 to play here in quarter number 3. Choctaw team, Muskogee 10. We're back in 1 minute. This is Rougher Football 2020.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back on Rougher Football 2020. All the way across the field, Nick, hard to tell who the injured player for the Roughers was.
I think he's up pretty much under his own power, though, whoever it was, looks like.
Our listeners and viewers here on Rougher TV, you know, sometimes everything works the way it's supposed to, and sometimes it's one of those days, Nick, you wish you hadn't got out of bed.
It's not Halloween, is it? No.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, that's still a few days away.
Full moon? No full moon tonight. All right. Trying to think of some other jinxy thing that's made all this go haywire tonight.
Does this game have COVID? I don't mean to make light of that, so don't hammer me with comments there. Just trying to find some
humor in it.
Some humor in what has been a very challenging evening, but a heck of a ball game. 14-10 is our score.
2nd 7 for the Roughers.
Roughers have to go out to the 44-yard line to move the sticks. Walker Newton with 2 wide receivers to his left. And then our referee signals to stop the clock.
Something on the far side. The referee and the side judge getting together over there. Yeah, whatever it was, something minor. Now we're ready to go again.
So 2nd down, football at the 38-yard line. 2nd and a long 6. And Jackets anticipating the snap count, jump into the neutral zone, Nick. And, well, that's just got to be grinding at the heart of Jake Corbin, because that's just free yardage. It goes from being 2nd and 6 now to 2nd and a yard to go.
Yeah, it's the 9th penalty against Choctaw tonight for 70 yards.
So now from the 43-yard line, flip the tight end over from right to left. Jackets adjusting their defensive formation as well. Play clock down to 7, down to 6. Newton going to hand it off. Gibbons coming near side, has the first down yardage. Collard wrestles free, fights for extra yard or 2. The defensive player for the Jackets was able to get a handful of jersey. That was Jordan Mukes, the young man who's headed to the University of Oklahoma, but not before Gibbons gains to the 49-yard line, and a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac. Rougher 1st down and 10.
So 6 more yards for Gibbons gives him 52 on the night and 20 carries.
So 1st and 10 from just shy of midfield. In case you missed it, 14-10 Roughers trail here early on in quarter number 3. Walker Newton with Gibbons to his right. Play action. Sets in the pocket. Throws the ball deep downfield looking for Zapata. Being matched up mano-a-mano with Jordan Thompson. Thompson running stride for stride with the Ruffers senior. The pass incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ruffers try to take a shot there, Nick.
Good coverage, though, by Choctaw, as you said, right with him on the defensive coverage at the sideline and kind of used the sideline as a weapon there to force the receiver a little bit closer out of bounds.
Clock will stop with 9 minutes and 36 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Ruffers tonight here against Choctaw. And next Friday night at home for Hall of Fame celebration against the Bixby Spartans. Play action, hand it off to Gibbons. Cuts back in the middle of field. Stood up and stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Just tough sledding. The interior of the defensive line for the Jackets really controlling most of the battle at the point of attack. Alex Davidson, Aaron McCaffrey, linebackers filling gaps, and the ever-present Deshaun Brown.
3rd and 10 for the Ruffers. They start to move up to the line of scrimmage and then come back and huddle up again.
Really kind of surprised, Nick. Not a very vocal crowd on the part of the home
About
team.
the
Yellow
only
Jackets.
thing I've heard is a lot of boos on all the penalties that Choctaw's had tonight.
So now Payne and Bell will be a 2 wide receiver set to the far right. Newton takes the snap, rolls to the right side, under some pressure, throws underneath route, caught over on the sideline, but then dropped.
Bell had it for just a moment, but couldn't hang on to it at the sideline. So that'll bring up 4th down. The Ruffers will have to punt it away.
Clock stopped with 8:47 left to play. Remember, when you have need for insurance coverage, whether it's for your health, your life, your home, your automobile, you can rely upon State Farm Insurance, and you can rely upon the service of your fast, fair, and friendly State Farm Insurance agent, David Cobb. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Give David Cobb a call with all your insurance questions at 918-682-2511.
Well, the Yellow Jackets will get their first opportunity to see what they can do offensively here in this second half as Zapata ready to punt it away.
Play clock never did reset again, Nick. High snap, Zapata gets it, and it's kind of a line drive, knuckle top ball type kick. It'll take a good Muskogee bounce and go out of bounds at the 23-yard line. So that'll be a 28-yard punt with no return, but that's the good thing, Nick, no return, and that's where the Yellow Jackets will get their first offensive series to start here in the third quarter. Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law, brings you each week's pregame winning strategy. Head coach Rafe Watkins. Buffalo Wild Wings presents our Player of the Game award each and every broadcast, and we'll have a selection for you at night's end. But now the Yellow Jackets with the football from their 23. Counter, swing route, out in the corner. Gibbons one-on-one and matched up with the guy out there on the edge. That was Terrell Davis. I think, Nick, he tried to sneak a peek upfield because he heard the thundering hooves of Isaiah Gibbons breathing down his neck and forgot to do the primary thing, and that's catch the football.
Catch the ball, yeah. He looked kind of peaked up there, so now that puts the Jackets in a 2nd and 10 spot.
Trips go to the left side. Counter action, and the receiver here on the near side did a little shake and bake move.
And he moved too quick.
Brooke Hitchcock, I think, was the guilty party. So that'll back it up 5 yards. And the Jackets will have a 2nd and 15. 8 minutes, 37 seconds to play here in quarter number 3. Choctaw 14, Muskogee 7.
Yellow Jackets move into double digits now in the penalty department.
Now stacked receivers left and right. Counter. Wassel going to keep it, trying to get to the edge. Ruffers have him corralled and will drop him pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Good containment on the far side, Nick, by the Ruffer defensive crew. They got up the field pursuit and were able to turn Wassel back into the middle where there were a host of white jerseys there to make the stop no gain.
Wassel hasn't shown much in the running department so far tonight. That's only his 3rd carry of the night for 8 yards.
He's got an interesting passing style, too, though. Kind of slingshot, kind of a sidearm baseball delivery. 3rd and 15, have to go to the 33. Wassel this time will put twins left and right. 6'4" sophomore quarterback stands calling in the pocket. Now in some trouble. Throws it up the middle. This one is caught and then dropped. Wassel's pass intended for Jax Burchett, incomplete.
Pass was there. Burchett was open. But as he turned to try to get it upfield, one of the Ruffer defenders hit him there and knocked the ball loose.
So that brings up 4th down, and in comes Ethan Roan, who would be the traditional punter for the Yellow Jackets. And Jaden Bell and Raheem Payne will be back. Snap is away, and the kick is high. Ruffers will just get out of the way of it. And it'll be was not touched on the first bounce, but then placed to a stop at the midfield stripe. 7 minutes, 35 seconds left to go here in quarter number 3. Choctaw 14, your Muskogee Ruffers 10. Ruffer football brought to you by Suddenlink, James Hodge Ford, by Runt's Barbecue, the home of the Tuesday night coaches show each and every night from 6:30 until 7 on Ruffer TV, as well as on Okie Country 1017 KTFX. Nick, our good buddy Mick Reed, keeping all the strings tied tightly and holding our radio broadcast
Good
tonight.
job tonight, bouncing between the radio and the live stream. Yeah,
certainly say thanks to those guys who are back there in those technical spots for their patience with us here tonight as we fought the technical gremlins. 1st and 10 Ruffers from the midfield stripe. Walker Newton rolling to his right, throws in the flat. Catch is made by Payne. He's wrapped up and drug out of bounds. They say the feet touch the chalk at the 47-yard line. So that'll be a 3-yard pass play for the Ruffers. But the clock continued to run.
Yep.
14-10, Choctaw in front. Ruffers led it early, 7-0. Choctaw scored what appeared to be a game-tying touchdown, but then missed on the 2-point conversion. Ruffers expanded it to 10-6, and then just before halftime, Choctaw made it 14-10. Newton, this time going to hand off to Gibbons, and he has no place to go. Backside coverage, that's actually
Tolbert,
not Newton
yeah.
this time. That was Brandon Tolbert, the 5'9", 205-pound sophomore. Lost 2 on the play. And it'll bring up 3rd down and now 9 yards to go.
Well, this is the position you don't want to be in for the Ruffers, is having to get ahead of the chains on 3rd and long, and passing has not been your strong suit.
Zapata and Bell will go to the right side. Newton back in the pocket, sets up, flushed, now wants to throw, heaves it downfield, had a receiver all behind everybody, was Antonio Zapata, but the pass sails way out of bounds.
And he was, again, for the most part, the line has given Newton some time to pass. That time he had to sprint out, throw it on the run, a very difficult passing situation. He just didn't get his shoulders squared around to get it downfield straight.
So the sophomore's forward pass incomplete now. Nick, what's that give him on the night?
He is now 3 for 10 passing.
And how many yards?
For 68 or 71 yards.
So on a 4th and 9, Antonio Zapata standing back inside the 40 for the punt. High snap, Zapata gets it, quick release, a line drive bullet and a big kick. Roan will field it on a fair catch falling down. Actually, it's not Roan, but it's Damon Jackson. And that's where Choctaw will start this time from their own 16-yard line. 6:11 to play here in quarter number 3. We hope you're settling in. But I think we may have some laundry here, too.
Sideline warning against Choctaw.
Ruffers with a small traveling group here tonight. Of course, a roster that has been depleted by injuries and other distractions. But as Rafe says, we're going to take the guys that want to play and want to play hard and do the best we can do.
That's what we can do, yep.
6 minutes, 11 seconds left to go. Choctaw holding to a 14-10 advantage over the Muskogee Ruffers tonight from Bill Jensen Field. Glad to have everybody available here on Ruffer Football 2020. My Place Barbecue West, Nissan of Muskogee, JTK Imaging Services, along with Bravado Wireless and Cornerstone Funeral Home, helping make possible Ruffer football here in 2020. 1st and 10 for the Jackets from their own 16. Wassel on a reverse, handing it off on the pitch outside 20, 25, 30, 35, up the boundary, turning the corner. This one's going to go to the house. That'll be Latrell Ray on a little counter pitch. And that one hurts because that one stings. 84 yards. Just busted coverage on the backside. And the Jackets with the misdirection score on the 1st down gallop. Latrell Ray for the touchdown. The sophomore 175-pounder spreads this one to a 10-point margin.
Gives him 118 yards now rushing on the night.
Big plays, Nick, when you in a close ball game, missed opportunities. You think back to those two chances early in the first quarter.
Please, I don't want to think back to those.
So now the Jackets to go for the 2-point conversion. Snap back to the quarterback, rolls those in the flat. This one's deflected away. And it'll fail the 2-point conversion and lead the margin at 10. Choctaw on an 84-yard touchdown run from Latrell Ray with a 20-10 lead over the Muskogee Ruffers. We're back to Bill Jensen Field. That after this 30-second timeout. This is Muskogee Ruffers football.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
5:57 left to play in quarter number 3. For those of us, or you listening via radio, we'll remind you the Rougher football tonight from Choctaw. Before we get back to action on our radio station for our listeners, while we keep it live on the live stream feed, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Rougher Football on Okie Country 101.7. Well, it has been much like a roller coaster ride at the State Fair, Nick. Of course, the State Fair's long since canceled because of the pandemic. But it has been like one of those up and down nights for everybody here this evening, including us broadcasters.
Let's check some of the scores in 6A2. Bixby now was close for a while. 51-6 now the score there. Booker T. Washington shutting out Putnam City West 35-0. Ponca City decisioning or is ahead of Bartlesville 10-7 early in the fourth quarter in that game.
Ruffers next Friday night will be at home. It'll be Hall of Fame night there at Indian Bowl. If you want to get your tickets in advance, you must purchase those tickets in advance online. Little squib kick that rolls toward the boundary. Just let it go out of bounds.
Oh, no, they fall on it, yeah.
And the Ruffers
that
just
cost
fall
them
on
10
it.
yards. Yeah.
And the ball will be at the 25-yard line. But better to fall on it, Nick, than to let the opposition pick it up, and that's happened.
We've seen that before, haven't we? Yeah, that's right.
So Muskogee will start 1st and 10 from its own 25-yard line. Trip fives on the scoreboard. 5:55 remaining here in quarter number 3. Yellow Jackets 20, Muskogee 10. This game early on, Nick, the start of the season was billed to be kind of a prime time matchup between the preseason number 3 and number 4 ranked squads.
Well, Choctaw is ranked 4th, but the Ruffers, unfortunately, because of injuries and things, haven't been able to get there.
Brandon Talbert takes the handoff, tries to come to his left. He's wrapped up and body slammed back behind the line of scrimmage at the 24-yard line, a loss of a yard.
So Tolbert not being able to gen much so far, 3 carries for a -3 yards for the running back.
The Ruffers here in the second half have given a lot more of the defensive responsibility to their muscle man, Isaiah Gibbons, who's gone at linebacker after playing a good portion of the first half at running back. Clock running with 5:17 to play here in quarter number 3. Play action. Newton on the counter, rolling back to his left, trying to run or throw. In some trouble. He'll be shoved out of bounds by a couple of Yellow Jackets.
Lose a little bit of yardage on that one, back to around 21. The 20 or 21.
So we'll call it a loss of 4. Actually, more than that.
Yeah, right at the 21, so a loss of about 3.
The Ruffers will face 3rd down in a bunch. They've got to go to the 36. So this would be 3rd and 15. And like you said earlier, Nick, it's more of a predictable defensive situation here in Choctaw's defensive scheme.
Yeah, it is, because they know that Newton's got to try to go to the air somewhere.
So Walker Newton, sophomore quarterback, moves out of the pocket to his right, dancing around, tries to cut back against the grain, and there's just nothing but blue jerseys all the way around. First guy that got there was Ethan Eisenhower.
Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So the Roughers, with 4th and about 14, will have to punt it.
And Antonio Zapata will be back to do the kicking. Got to start thinking about nominees tonight, Nick, for player of the game. A lot of different ideas come to mind for me, but we'll settle that in our post-game show. Zapata to stand inside the 10 for the snap. This one back in good shape. Blitz is on, and Antonio gets away. It's fielded at the 47. Jackets try to get to the corner, have a space. 45, 40, blocked from behind, and finally ushered out of bounds on the return was Spencer Bowles. Not going to be much difference in the spot of the kick and the return as it goes all the way to the 29-yard line in Rougher territory, and the field position beginning to take a pendulum swing, Nick, back toward the favor of the home team Jackets.
It is, because Bowles did a nice job to receive that on the line drive kick and then got around the corner on a couple of good blocks. And so it's only about an 8-yard difference from where the punt was as to the line of scrimmage now.
Riffers in that last possession used less than 2 minutes time of possession, not what Rafe Watkins and his offensive crew would typically like to see dialed up. Now motion. Wassel in the pocket. Sets, throws to an open space out in the 20, and good contact and wrap up over there as Jaden Bell makes the stop on the reception by Wesley Ziegler. Gain downfield to about the where? They're going to mark it at the 19. It's a 10-yard pickup and a 1st and 10 Jackets. 4:05 to play here in quarter number 3.
Ziegler, one of the leading receivers for this Choctaw team. That's only his first catch of the night, though.
Now Wassel takes the snap, and just as he does, the whistles sound. See what our referee will tell us. So motion up front on the part of the Yellow Jackets will back it up 5. So it'll move back out to the 24-yard line.
That'll be the 11th penalty tonight against Choctaw for 80 yards.
Excel Physical Therapy, My Place Barbecue West. James Hodge Ford helping make Rougher Football 2020 possible. Wassel takes the snap, rolling to his right, wants to stop, cut back against the grain. This time the Roughers have a handful of jersey, and guess who it is? This time it is Devin Whitfield, the junior defensive end, who's having to grow up under fire, Nick, here in 2020.
He's done a great job. Man.
Loss of yardage back from the 32-yard line.
Loss of 7 on the play.
So now it'll be 2nd down from the 32, have to go all the way to the 9, so it'll be 2nd down at 23. Gerald Davis, the running back. Wassel sets up, a little screen pass out on the edge, caught by Latrell Ray, trying to find his blue and gold clad blockers. Fights off a would-be tackler at around the 25 and scampers inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. Needed 23. They got all but 7 of it there, Nick.
You got 16. Just a little screen play and a little screen pass out there, and he had 2 or 3 blockers out in front of him.
So now 3rd down and 7 for the Jackets, and knowing their mindset, Nick, it's 4-down territory without question.
Oh, yeah.
Choctaw, blue jerseys, gold numerals that kind of reflect the night lights. Roughers in their road green pants, white jerseys, green numerals. Wassel, motion, play action, kept the football himself and got decked in the backfield. That might be an RPO that when you study that one on film, Nick, the smarter decision might have been to give it to Latrell Ray, but as it goes, it's a loss of yardage back upfield to the 19, or as they'll mark it at the 18. So it'll be 4th down and 9. Can the Rougher defense bend but not break here? Jackets with 2 receivers either side. Hard count, Roughers don't bite for it. Very confident young man, 6'4", 215-pound sophomore Steele Wassel came in 72 of 135 on the year.
Play clock down to about 6. Wassel gets up to the line quickly.
Takes the snap, rolls to his right, sets up, now wants to retreat his ground. Looking still to run or throw, in some trouble. Hit behind the line, collared and dropped. Rougher defense, covers well in the secondary. Wassel had no place to escape, and the rougher combination this time of Isaiah Gibbons and Hunter Hess with the stop on the 4th down scramble by Steele Wassel. And the Ruffers will take over. 1st down and 10 at their own 22-yard line. How about that defense?
That's good. That's a nice momentum swing. Now the Ruffers have got to find a way to get something ginning on offense.
Got to start thinking a little bit about Hunter Hess. We've called his name a number of times.
Yeah.
Of course, first half performance offense, second half performance defense for Isaiah Gibbons. Brandon Tolbert will line up this series at the running back spot. Newton. Waist high snap, hands it off to Talbert, and there's just not any place to go. Talbert will churn his legs forward, maybe for a 1-yard pickup from the 22 to the 23, but the Mushhogs unable to move the mountain of earth up front. Good defensive effort that time by Deshaun Brown, the junior defensive end. 1-yard pickup.
Clock ticking down to a minute here.
In the third quarter. Only points here in the quarter, a touchdown by the Bruins and a failed PAT. Play clock down to 9, now down to 8. Newton will take it, roll to his left, cut up field, and just opted to keep the football and got dropped behind the line of scrimmage back around the 19-yard line.
So it'll be a loss of 4 by Newton.
And that'll more than likely, depending upon, well, nope, they've already set the play clock.
They'll have to get
The
off
Ruffers
one
will have
play.
to snap it.
Yeah.
Zapata to come to the short side boundary left. Bell and Payne are to the right side. Triangle of coverage there, zone coverage for the Yellow Jackets. Newton out of the shotgun, takes, hands off, giving to the running back, who will get back to the yardage lost on the previous play, but that's about all. Might not even got all of that. Now mark it at the 21-yard line, and time has expired here in the third quarter. 12 minutes remain tonight from Bill Jensen Field. Choctaw 20, Muskogee 10. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Rougher Football 2020.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford Promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Tonight from Bill Jensen Field, 3 quarters in the books. Choctaw 20, Muskogee Ruffers 10. Ruffers still looking for that elusive win number 1. Next, some other scores. High school on this Thursday night.
Guess what? Wagner now has 70 points to just 8 for Miami. What a surprise there.
Still haven't put 92 up, though.
Fort Gibson still trailing Sallisaw in the third quarter. 33-28. Hilldale final has defeated Muldrow 48-14 this evening.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you tonight from Choctaw. I want to remind you, plan ahead to be in attendance next Friday night when the Ruffers will be at home against the Bixby Spartans for Hall of Fame night. Little pregame festivities over there in the Tech Center, and then the introduction to the 2020 class. The Muskogee Athletic High School Hall of Fame.
4th
and
and 11 for the Ruffers. Not a back to punt.
On the first play of the fourth quarter. Good snap. Zapata this time catches it and bombs one over the return man's head. Takes some big Muskogee bounce inside the 30, rolling inside the 20, and the Roughers will just watch it crawl all the way to the 17-yard line.
63 yards, if I'm figuring right.
62, 63, somewhere in that fashion. Certainly one of the better kick efforts of the season for Antonio Zapata.
I think his longest was 60 coming into this game.
11:46 to play tonight here from Choctaw. Jackets on top of the Roughers, 20-10. Now Choctaw, you know, Nick, really would like to kind of milk the clock on this possession. Steele Wassel kind of hobbles out there, Nick. You see him a little gimp. He's got a wrap on that right calf.
Lineman coming in late for the Jackets.
Wassel will work out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, pitches out on the edge. Roughers this time have it smothered and covered behind the line of scrimmage. Roughers have done their homework tonight in the film studies, Nick, because they've been ready for the most part. There again, Isaiah Gibbons, loss of 2 on the play. Actually, they'll mark it at the 14. Jackets have to go all the way out to the 26. Wassel this time going to hand off to his little scat back running back, who will get back to about the 16-yard line before Hunter Hess does the job, and the running back of the Jackets is slow to get up. This time Latrell Ray a little hobbled. Football resting at the 16-yard line, so back to the line of scrimmage on the 2-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, and Roughers here could use a big 3rd down stand.
Let's see if the Yellow Jackets are prone to want to try to pass the ball or just be content to try and run it, eat up some clock.
Steve Braun taking the place of our hydration specialist and nutritionist here tonight. 3rd and 10. Wassel going to start motion across the formation, take the snap, look left, throw right, wait, throw patiently, open receiver up to the 30, and making the catch before being pushed out of bounds, Terrell Davis.
And again, he was open, just a little square out pattern, and the safety didn't get up quite quick enough, and that'll be good for the 1st down.
19 yards on the pass combination from Wassel to Davis. That's just a good protection. Time to look off 2nd and 3rd options before finally having to rifle the shot upfield to the open receiver.
129 yards passing tonight for Wassel.
1st and 10 from the Choctaw 35. Wassel steps right, now reverts, goes back to his left, looking to run or throw, in some trouble, just throws this one up for grabs. Roughers are back there, it's tipped up and around and almost picked off. Roughers had it.
Davis almost came up with it.
He almost did. Jaden Bell was back in coverage along with T.K. Thompson, and return man of the Jackets, or the receiver for the Jackets, a little bit hobbled coming off the field, and the officials will stop play. But you see the arm strength of Steele Wassel?
Oh, yeah.
I think now.
That ball, 40 yards probably in the air.
Did they call a timeout? No.
I thought the officials just called time to get the player off.
Player's off. Start the play clock. 10:29 left. Clock stopped on the incomplete forward pass. 2nd down and 10 from the 35-yard line. This time Wassel going to hand it off. Stood up and met at the line of scrimmage. Squirms free of the first contact, but then second wave. What did I just say? Second wave of tacklers coming in to make the stop. Guy that got up there that time for the Roughers was Aiden Kemp, coming to give a little assistance to Hunter Hess along with Devin Whitfield. Pickup of 2, 3rd down and 8 from the 37-yard line. Ray to the right of Wassel. Wassel wants to roll to his right, looks to throw in the gap, throws this one downfield, who's behind everybody, catches, bobbled and dropped.
That was a touchdown.
Now that pass, though, Nick, was really over the back shoulder, and the intended receiver having to try and adjust to it, just had it bounce right out of his fingertips.
He was 3 or 4 yards behind the
It was 6
defense.
points if he holds on to it.
Kind of hits himself in the head as he comes back upfield as if to say, wow, I should have had that.
So it'll be 4th down and 8. Wassel still on the field.
They use this short punt formation.
4
sometimes.
receiver package to the right side. Snap back, Wassel takes it, throws it deep, receiver behind everybody. This is Ray, but there's flags down. Jackets are going to be called back. Ray on the receiving end, or Davis on the receiving end, but the quarterback, Steele Wassel, pounding his fist into the artificial turf here at Bill Jensen Field. That big touchdown toss of what would have been 63 yards, going to be wiped out. An illegal formation. Did not have enough men on the line of scrimmage. There are 4 receivers, Nick, here to the short side boundary right, but you still got to count and make sure you don't have 5 in the backfield.
Well, so 2 potential touchdowns there. One a drop pass and one called back by penalty for Choctaw.
So the umpire tonight, who has been quite busy walking off penalty yardage, Danny Schote will take the ball and move it back to the 32.
Let's see if this changes strategy now for the
the punter,
Choctaw.
Ethan Roan, is aboard.
Roan lines up as a kind of a short punt. Ruffers have gotten close to blocking it a couple of times.
Good snap this time. 1 step, kicks away. It's off the side of his foot. Just get out of the way of it. Takes a Choctaw bounce and skips on a hop inside the 45 and will roll to a stop at the 40-yard line.
28 yards on the punt. The Ruffers will get decent field position starting at their own 40.
9:24 left to play. Scoreboard update brought to you by James Hodge Ford, home of the built Ford Tough F-150 and the James Hodge promise of service after the sale. I, for one, can testify personally. The crew at James Hodge Ford will take care of you and your automotive needs. James Hodge Ford, a friend to Ruffer football, once again in 2020.
Let's see what the Ruffers will do offensively. Isaiah Gibbons came in at the last play when the Ruffers were on offense and ran. Let's see if he'll come back out and be the running back here.
He will be.
He will. So he took a little break and, as you said, played primarily defense. Now Rafe Watkins says, let's get him back on offense.
Zapata and Bell are to the left side. Now Payne going to flip over in a hurry. The play clock is down to 12. He'll come back to the right side and line up on the line of scrimmage. Newton waits on the cadence. Rolls to his left. Rookers look a little razzle-dazzle. Zapata to throw down the boundary. Looking for Bell, underthrown. No, they're going to say, did he catch it?
Yes, he did.
It's an interception for the Yellow Jackets. It was underthrown, and coming up with the INT is Bolton Hawkins. Now, try to go a little bit to the bag of tricks there, and the pass just underthrown, but you got to give a little bit of credit, too, to the defensive pressure of the Jackets, Nick, because they forced Antonio to throw that one kind of off balance. And then Hawkins on the INT, and the Jackets get it right back at their own 32-yard line.
Again, the ball kind of up in the air gave the defender time to go stride for stride and actually get inside the receiver and make the interception.
Well, now Choctaw gets the ball right back, leading 20-10 here in the fourth quarter. 9:16 to play. Wassel, quick route out in the flat. Missed by Gibbons, caught by Ray. This is across the 40, 45, midfield. Still on his feet, trying to get upfield. Ruffers coming back to try to rip the ball free instead of wrapping up and stopping the ball carrier. Terrell Davis, and able to move that one from the 32 on one end to the 34 on the opposite end. 18 up, 16 down. That's 34 yards. And a Choctaw 1st and 10. Now tempo up to the hurry to the line of scrimmage. Stacked receivers. Actually a 4-receiver set to the short side left. Wassel, 3-step drop, sets, waits, into pressure, throws in the middle, caught at the 20, at the 15, and spinning his way to about the 12-yard line. That is Latrell Ray. Just too many people to cover, Nick.
There are, and they have really talented receivers to throw it to the backs out of the backfield, spread it around.
All the way to the 12-yard line on that pass reception. Now quickly, Wassel has his offense at the line of scrimmage, waits, pumps, scampers free, throws to the corner, down a little short hop, and picked up right off the shoe tops Making the catch again, Latrell Ray for the first and goal. Not quite sure he caught that one. But it is ruled a pass completion, so now it'll be first and goal from the 2. Wassel takes the snap straight ahead, lunges for the goal line. Officials have yet to signal touchdown. Might have spotted his knees just short of the goal line. That's what they're going to call. Wassel tried to kind of lunge into the kind of the bulldozer type, kind of lunge in quickly. He'll wait to take the snap here, take it, go right back to the same time. This time he'll hurdle the line of scrimmage into the end zone for the touchdown. Steele Wassel making this one a 26-10 ball game. Of course, the Jackets wanting to ensure that they get their 15-point margin of victory. They lead by 16 here, as they've done all night long, would be expected to go yet for another 2-point conversion.
68 yards in 5 plays for the Yellow Jackets.
Didn't take much time either. 7:52 left to play in the contest. Motion, swing it out in the flat, caught and walking it into the end zone is Terrell Davis. Did he not make it? They're going to say he stepped on the sideline before he crossed the goal line? He's pointing to the pylon, but the officials say no, he's out of bounds, and that'll leave the score at a 16-point difference, 26-10. 7:52 to play tonight here from Choctaw. Back in 1 minute. This is Rougher Football 2020.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
Back in Choctaw, Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Rougher TV crew. Again, want to say thanks to our producers tonight, making things go. And also to the technician specialist, Mick Reed and the crew back in the Okie Country studios. Steve Braun, Shane Stewart mapping out the reconnect to the live stream video.
Choctaw called for unsportsmanlike conduct on that 2-point try, so 15 yards marked off against them gives them 13 penalties for an even 100 yards this evening, and they'll have to kick off from the 25.
The Roughers will get it back now, down by 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions. And in the back of your mind, you say, what about those 2 missed opportunities early on? 26-10 as the Jackets will kick off. This time, again, a short pooch kick. Roughers will field it at the midfield stripe, up across the 45 and down to near the 42-yard line. Jackets pile on the tackle, as Muskogee will start in Yellow Jacket territory. On the kick return, that was Jelian Lockpour. Muskogee will get a 1st and 10 in a short field situation at the Choctaw 42.
And they need to make something happen quickly now. Get themselves back in the game here, not turn the ball back over.
Kind of turn the pendulum swinging back their way.
They do have kind of reverse the field position a little bit now as they start this possession in Choctaw territory.
Raheem Payne and Jaden Bell, the 2 receivers that are here to the near side. Thompson and Zapata are up top to the left. Newton handing off to Gibbons, spins out of 1 tackle, uses his hand for extra balance, and he's able to roll his way downfield across the 35 to the 34-yard line. Nice tiptoe and balance on the part of Isaiah Gibbons. He's got 8 yards, 2nd down and 2. Ruffers now will counter. Newton going to throw it across the middle, and Zapata trying to go to the turf to catch this one. They're going to say he got it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to give Antonio credit for scooping one off the field surface. Catch made at the 23-yard line.
11 yards.
Yeah,
on that.
line judge going to come in, and the officials will huddle to make sure that the catch was made. Jake Corbin and the defensive coaches were screaming that that ball might have short-hopped. So the catch will be made at the 23-yard line. So that's an 11-yard pickup on a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac. Ruffer 1st down and 10. From the 23. Walker Newton takes the waist-high snap, gives it off to Gibbons, trying to stutter step and then change gears. He'll drive downfield to the 20, where he'll get 3 yards on the 1st down carry. A convenience store time remaining, 7-11. That shows our age, doesn't it?
Very good, yes.
How long has it been since you've seen a 7-11?
That's right.
Newton quickly with the Ruffers to the line of scrimmage. Back in the pocket, under some pressure, dancing around. Throws this one toward the corner of the end zone. Left it up for grabs, Walker. You don't do that. Jackets dancing around. They may try to run this one out. They will. Bring it up the field. 10, 15, 20, 25, and then the Ruffers will dive in on top. And
they'll get penalized.
Going to get penalized because that time it was Allen Hill that says, okay, you want to showboat just a little bit on the interception, Jordan Mukes. But that's just a bad choice there by the young sophomore, throwing it up for grabs, trying to throw it out of the end zone, Nick, but he threw it up too high, and that allowed the University of Oklahoma Sooner commit Jordan Mukes to come up with the INT.
A little surprised Mukes decided to run that out. He was kind of hemmed in back there, but he managed to elude all the would-be tacklers and get it up the field to around the 30, and then 15 more added on for the unnecessary roughness penalty against
bring it out to the 41-yard line.
It's only the 3rd penalty of the night against Muskogee.
6:44 to go in a game that could have been, but just it's kind of been the way of the Ruffers here in 2020. Steele Wassel still remaining in at quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. He'll take the snap, hand it off inside. Jackets a gaping hole, 45, and out to the 49, maybe the 50-yard line goes Damon Jackson. Jackson will go upfield for 8 yards from the 42 to the midfield stripe. Clock running with 6:25. The game clock becoming the friend of the Yellow Jackets who have a 16-point lead. That last interception, Nick, and no points to show for it, really hurts.
Yep.
Wassel again. This time will hand it off. Jackets come right side, and again with the carry is Jackson. And the first contact on the part of the Ruffers defensively, that was T.K. Thompson.
There's a flag down right at the point of the tackle as well. Jackets are going to be called for a hold on the play.
So the penalty will be marked off from the spot of the foul. It had been 2nd down and 2. It'll now move it back to the 44, where it will be 2nd down and 8.
And I've used all my penalty boxes tonight for Choctaw. That is their 14th in the game.
Steele Wassel will take the waist-high snap. He'll hand it off again, and this time the Ruffers have the running back corralled, just bear-hugging and dragging the ball carrier to the ground, Devin Whitfield. Young man is just getting better game by game. 3rd down and 8 for the Jackets on no gain on that carry. Don't forget, next Friday night, get your tickets in advance online at MuskogeeAthletics.com. Hall of Fame night 2020. 7 inductees to be enshrined. Some past greats of Ruffer athletic heroics. Wassel back in the pocket, rolls to his right, throws upfield high, caught right on the sideline. Nice. Making the catch again, that's Terrell Davis.
Davis doing a nice job to be able to go up in the air and then be able to get down, get his feet down before going out of bounds.
Seneca Collins was doing the defensive coverage, but Nick, this has got to begin to get it to be a somewhat tired defensive unit because they've been out there a good portion of the night as well.
16 yards on that pass completion. Another 1st down for the Jackets.
Empty backfield for Wassel. Interesting thing, does a little dance around out on the field like he's trying to convince the coach as to what play he wants. Wassel takes the snap at 6'4". The quarterback rolls to his right, giving ground, waits, in some trouble, and shoestring tackled across the way. Getting there for the Ruffers, looks like that's LaShawn Mans.
I think so, yeah.
Good effort that time by the Ruffer defenders, dropping Wassel back upfield at the 46-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 16. Ruffer sideline chain gang. Nick, you look across the way, you see the signs for Runts Barbecue, Mabry Brake, Nissan of Muskogee. All part of the support package. Throw the ball out in the flat, catch is bobbled and dropped, and then Ronald Warren. Oh, come on!
Really?
They're going to call a personal foul against Ronald Warren. He ran into the ball carrier who was bobbling it, and they're going to call a penalty flag against the Ruffers for a late hit.
Oh, man.
And then there's a second penalty flag that's thrown.
That may be against Choctaw. So,
and this penalty may be against Choctaw for a little bit of excessive celebration or comments. And that's the second personal foul against number 8, so he would be out of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
So the two officials will confer, and we'll see how this one will all play out. More than likely, it's 15 and 15.
Yeah, 15 and 15.
They would offset.
Yeah.
It was a dead ball.
They were both dead ball fouls.
But you end up with an ejection of Terrell Davis.
If they do that, we'll see.
We'll see how they interpret our officiating crew being headed up tonight by Jeff Murray. Danny Schote, Gary Lewis, David Hammonds, and Kerry Sanders, the 5-man crew. Our crowd microphone should give us the opportunity to pick up the judge's verdict.
Long decision here by the striped shirt crew.
Personal foul, illegal helmet contact, targeting against the offensive player on the defense, 15-yard penalty. After the play is over, a unsportsmanlike foul, number 8, that is the second unsportsmanlike, he is disqualified.
All right, so a defenseless receiver. That was Ronald Warren getting hit for the targeting call. And then the offended player, Terrell Davis, responding and getting called for an unsportsmanlike conduct, and then was ejected.
And Choctaw calls a timeout to kind of regroup now.
And they're going to bring the referee over to the sideline, and Jake Corbin's going to play defense attorney. Certainly doesn't look like a defense attorney, does he, Nick? I mean, the ones I think of from TV, Perry Mason. Just went totally blank. Judd for the defense.
Yeah,
I'm going back.
Come on, man. You're really reaching.
Okay, what's the
L.A. Law?
What's the TV show? What's the TV show where Andy Griffith is the
Matlock?
Matlock. Yeah, well, Corbin trying to play Matlock there, but I don't think he won the battle with the officials.
Very seldom do, you know. Like never.
Timeout was taken by Choctaw, so we'll just keep it here. Remind you, coming up next Friday night, you'll want to be at Indian Bowl. Again, limited attendance restrictions due to the COVID pandemic. But tickets are available. You can purchase those in advance online at MuskogeeAthletics.com and come be a part of the 2020 Hall of Fame celebration.
Bixby Spartans will be the opponent. They defeated Sand Springs this evening, 51-20.
Shauna Breedlove, one of the inductees. Also, Angie Hillman, or as I like to call her, the popcorn lady. Rusty Bradley, another one of the inductees for 2020. Tim Brewer, a former basketball standout for the Ruffers, who went on to have a pretty successful collegiate career. So it'll be 2nd down and a bunch, 2nd and 16 for the Yellow Jackets. Clock will start on the snap of the football. Wassel with an empty backfield. 4 wide receivers to the left side, ball resting on the right hash. Wassel takes the chest high snap, rolls to his left, wants to square the shoulders, wants to dance, looking to elude the tackle, and the Ruffers usher him out of bounds. Good pressure again. Ronald Warren and LaShawn Mans pushing Wassel out of bounds right around the 49-yard line in Choctaw territory. And, Nick, that's got to be due in part to some pretty good secondary coverage of a very young, inexperienced group.
5-yard loss on the play for Wassel.
Seneca Collins, one of those guys in the back end. T.K. Thompson.
3rd and an acre coming up now for the Yellow Jackets.
Israel Martin and also Aiden Kemp. Jaden Bell over on the far side. Now Wassel under some pressure, dancing free, trying to find a passing route. Looks to throw the ball downfield. Receivers out there, but the pass a little bit wide. Dancing around behind the line of scrimmage, and the ball thrown downfield in the direction of Wesley Ziegler.
We have a penalty marker.
I think the Ruffers may get called for a late hit. Things getting a little chippy down on the field, Nick, here late in the ball game.
Yeah. Well, the Ruffers, I know, are frustrated. Because
may have had an ineligible man downfield, maybe the call rather than a late hit, because the official is tapping the top of his wide hat, and Ruffers here would certainly decline it. All right, there's your description from Jeff Murray. So the penalty was against Choctaw again. 4th down and 21. And Wassel
stays in the game. Usually Roan comes in if they're going to punt.
For which I really don't understand. 26-10 with 4:20 to play in the game.
And he's been kind of hobbling around. I think you'd want to pull him out of the game and let him get well.
Well, the Yellow Jackets will go for it here on 4th and a bunch. Have to go to the 30-yard line, so it's 4th and 21. Play clock still at 15. Wassel now brings motion across the formation. Sets up, wants to throw a stop. Got wide open receiver who ran past the coverage. The ball is dropped.
It's the second drop touchdown.
Wesley Ziegler was 5 yards behind the intended coverage of Seneca Collins. And Ziegler let it go through his fingertips, incomplete, and the Ruffers will get good field position to start this drive from the Choctaw 49-yard line, still with 4:13 to play. Timeout on the field. 26-10, Choctaw in front. We're back in 1 minute on Ruffer Football 2020.
JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee brings mobile digital imaging to you anytime, anywhere. JTK Imaging Services offers parents-to-be excitement and comfort of 3D and 4D ultrasound with ultrasound as low as $100. Services at JTK Imaging Services also include mobile digital ultrasound and x-ray anytime you need them. Discover the difference online at jtkimagingservices.com. JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee at 1631 North Main.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Well, a failed 4th down pass conversion gives the Ruffers 1st and 10 in Choctaw territory. 4 minutes and 13 seconds remain tonight from Bill Jensen Field in Choctaw. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you and our Ruffer TV crew. 26-10 Choctaw on top of the Ruffers. And Nick, for those of us who never say never, and from time to time we older folks will also try and dream the impossible dream, this is still a doable situation, especially if you could score quick. Then you got to get an onside kick and then score again.
Well, I look at this game a little differently, too. This is a game that the Ruffers could have seized the momentum early in this game and had Choctaw maybe on its heels, unlike a lot of the games the Ruffers have played where they've just gotten blown away with big plays right off the bat. So this one is one that they're going to look back on and say, gee whiz.
Walker Newton in at quarterback. Isaiah Gibbons, the running back, to his left. Back in the pocket is Newton across the middle, pass high and through the intended fingertips of the Ruffer receiver, Jaden Bell. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 4:09 to play tonight here from Choctaw. Rougher Football in 2020 brought to you in part by My Place Barbecue West. That's the first place I ate, Nick, when I moved to town, and I haven't stopped going there since. Hand the football off to Isaiah Gibbons. Change of direction. Backpedaling his way upfield. Down inside the 45. They're going to say the hips of Isaiah Gibbons went to the turf at the 45. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Muskogee. First meal at Bruce and Shirley's establishment was My Place Barbecue Plate. Walker Newton downfield. Zapata and Penalties to the left. Katie Freeman will line up in a slot to the right side. Newton back in the pocket. 2 men will come off the edge. Throw the ball downfield deep. And the pass thrown in the vicinity of Antonio Zapata, but overthrown, and the ball will go over on down, stopping the clock with 3:38 left to play tonight here at Choctaw.
Well, you think the Choctaw Yellow Jackets now will just see handoffs to the running backs at this point. Run out the clock.
Ball will be placed at the 45-yard line. Got to talking about My Place Barbecue West. All of a sudden, I'm hungry. Yeah. Beans, toast, fries to go along with the chopped barbecue or sliced brisket, or every Friday and Saturday night, all you can eat ribs. I like that too. Jackets with the football. Wassel takes the snap, hands off to his running back, breaking the line of scrimmage contact across midfield and down into rougher territory to about the 47-yard line.
Jackson carrying. He's been the main man here in this 4th quarter carrying the ball.
Deshaun Smith, one of the Ruffers, in on the stop. Ruffers without Keandre Johns tonight due to the concussion protocol. I think if this game had been Friday, he might have been able to go, but Ruffers will look forward to having him back next week. Now motion across the formation. Back in the pocket. Wassel, little screen pass, little jailbreak screen, and there the aforementioned Muskogee Ruffer Deshaun Smith doing his job as the lob over the top, the catch made by the Choctaw receiver Damon Jackson, and it is the Muskogee Ruffers Deshaun Smith stopping that one for a loss of 2. But the clock continues to count precious seconds away. 2:42 and counting here in the 4th quarter. 26-10 is our score. See our sponsors of Rougher Football on the live stream. You hear the commercial sponsorships on the radio. Those are the folks that make these broadcasts possible at home as well as on the road. Now Wassel back in the pocket. Waits, throws into space. Catch made at the 45 and downfield to the 29-yard line. Steele Wassel on the delivery, just a zone release. Making the catch, Damon Jackson, and it's a 1st and 10 for Choctaw at the Muskogee 29. 2:10 and clock running. Wassel takes the snap, hands it off in traffic. Ruffers had him corralled, and then he spurts out of the pile, and the Yellow Jacket running back, just as he gets into open space, slips a bit and falls to the turf. That's Damon Jackson after a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 again. 2 wide receivers, left and right. Wassel going to take a little swing route out in the flat. That might be a lateral. Ruffers scrambling around for it, and
officials haven't said anything.
See if they'll call this a forward pass. Oh, no, they pointed at Muskogee football.
Yep, it's a
Nick,
lateral.
I know that there's not anybody that has listened to our broadcast throughout the many, many years you and I have been doing this, but I got to take the truth serum here and say that was a forward pass.
I thought it was too, and we're sitting pretty much right across from it.
But I'm going to take it. You don't look the gift horse in the mouth, do you? So that's especially when you're 0-5.
3rd turnover by Choctaw tonight.
Jake Corbin's not going to be any too happy of a head coach tonight when this night is through. 1:36 left to go tonight here at Bill Jensen Field. Temperatures have cooled somewhat as the sun went down. They run the counter, give it off to Gibbons, trying to get to the edge, and he'll be stopped short of the sideline at the 32-yard line. So a gain of 2.
Gibbons now 26 carries for 71 yards on the ground tonight for the Roughers.
Zapata, the lone receiver, to the boundary left. Twins to the right side. And there's going to be offside again against Choctaw.
Another 5 yards.
Trying to guess the cadence, and the Yellow Jackets jumping into that neutral zone. And I know you said a while back you'd run out of penalty spots to mark down yardage.
15 against Choctaw tonight.
Wow.
115 yards.
Still leading at 26-10. Bell and Payne to the left. Handed off to Gibbons, who cuts back after getting 7 on first down. Gets to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Clock moves inside, a minute to play.
And Rufford just playing this one out.
3rd down and 3.
Newton will take the snap. Again, play action, throw and catch. Zapata with a grab at the 40, dances free at the 45, trying to find blockers midfield. Antonio trying to get to the edge at the 40, downfield to the 35, stood up and then wrapped up and body slammed at the 36-yard line.
27 yards on the play.
J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Ruffer first down at 10. And Ruffers have called a timeout with 32.9 seconds left to go. That gives us an opportunity to let you hear from one of our sponsor heroes. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
I'm Gil McLaughlin.
I'm Brian Kirkhart.
Thanks, Muskogee. Your hometown mortgage team, Muskogee Mortgage, the McLaughlin team, is proud to be Muskogee's preferred mortgage company.
We are extremely honored to serve you. Just like the Ruffers have a game plan for victory, our daily game plan is to assist families to reach their financial goals.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Ruffers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
Out of a short timeout, Ruffers go for the pass play, and Walker Newton gets smothered back at the 45-yard line with 22 seconds left. And Rafe Watkins says, well, I can't take my timeouts home with me, so I'll go ahead and burn another one here.
10-yard loss or 9-yard loss on that play by Newton.
Line of scrimmage had been the 36-yard line after the pass completion to Antonio Zapata. The Ruffers now with the football back at the 45 have 22.8 seconds remaining in tonight's contest. Don't forget, next Friday night, Hall of Fame night.
Scores.
Phil Gibbons, one of the Ruffer greats. Nick was the first African-American athlete to be named All-State after the integration back in the early 70s. Phil Gibbons, who was also voted to be one of the most feared linebackers in Ruffer football history. He'll be one of the inductees next Friday night.
Okay.
Nice to see some of the guys and girls going to be inducted next Friday night. You'll want to be a part of all that. 7 Muskogee greats to be enshrined into the class of 2020 in Muskogee Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremonies.
6A1 scores. Broken Arrow came back and beat UConn 27-22. Let's see, Owasso knocked off Southmore 43-13.
Second down. Walker Newton takes the snap. Play action series, frees the linebacker, throw it up in space a little bit high for Antonio Zapata. I think if Newton had had just a second to peek a little bit further upfield, he would have seen Raheem Payne running uncontested But the incomplete pass will stop the clock with 18.5 seconds left to go tonight. Choctaw Wildcats getting a big win. They rumble over Westville 42-6. Third down and a bunch for the Ruffers, but right now 18 seconds remain tonight here at Bill Jensen Field. Newton takes it, hands it off to Isaiah Gibbons, stuttering his way through ball carriers. Dives underneath the pile and gets down to about the 42, and see if the Ruffers will try to get one more away. They'll try to hustle to the line of scrimmage, and 2 seconds, 1 second, and snap the football just prior to the double zeros. Newton dancing free, trying to find space, and some trouble, wrapped up and dropped at the 40, and that'll be the ball game. Choctaw Yellow Jackets try to dress it up early for the Ruffers to take advantage, but unable to convert on a couple of golden scoring opportunities. Choctaw comes back to take the halftime lead and eventually secures the victory, 26-10, to improve to 4-3 on the season, and more importantly, 3-1 in league play. Ruffers, for the first time ever, will drop to 0-6 and 0-3 in league play. 26-10, the final score. Stay tuned. Our post-game coverage of Ruffer football continues following this 3-minute timeout. This is Muskogee Ruffer football.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
New Silverados up to 15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
When you come home after a long day, Rivada Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com. Back to Bill Jensen Field on this Thursday night of high school football. Final score, Choctaw with the win, 26-10. Ruffers, for the first time ever, dropped to 0-6 on the season. Nick, it started with great anticipation and really gift-wrapped opportunities. Ruffers twice had first and goal from the 4, came up with nothing. A little bit later on, after a fumbled punt, would get a chance to score from the 8-yard line, and Walker Newton would finally finish things off on the 1-yard run, and the extra point by Carter Stewart made it 7-0. But Choctaw responded with a 63-yard drive. Wassel going to Ray for the 20-yard touchdown. The run failed. That made it 7-6. The Ruffers then would take their own possession with 8 minutes left in the first half. They would drive the length of the field only to stall. Skylar One Bear comes in and knocks home a 35-yard field goal to push the margin to 10-6. But then, with time running down in the first half, Choctaw would add a touchdown pass from Wassel to Burchett and go to the dressing room with a 14-10 advantage. And then in the second half, it was, for the most part, all Choctaw as the Jackets pick up the win 26-10. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Ruffer TV crew tonight from Bill Jensen Field. Nick, let's quickly take a look at the statistics here in our post-game wrap-up.
Well, we'll take a look at the main ones. Rushing tonight for the Ruffers, 40 rushes for 56 yards tonight on the ground for Muskogee. 4 of 14 passing for Walker Newton with 2 interceptions. Had 109 yards. 63 of those, though, remember, was on a long pass early in the game that got the Ruffers down the field. So 109 yards. Total of 165 yards in offense tonight for the Ruffers. For Choctaw, 32 rushes for 169 yards. Or excuse me, that's right. 32 rushes for 169 yards for the Jackets. 13 of 19 passing for the quarterback, Wassel. 229 yards, 1 interception. So 398 yards of total offense tonight for the Choctaw Yellow Jackets. They had 1 interception, the 1 bad snap, and a fumble. So they had
15 penalties.
And 15 penalties that were accepted. There were 2 or 3 I can remember that weren't accepted. So not a good department, not a good figure for Choctaw in that department.
26-10 is our final score. We're going to take this 1-minute timeout. And when we come back, we'll select our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. Back in 60 seconds for the final segment of tonight's broadcast. That after this timeout on Ruffer Football.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Welcome back, Bill Jensen Field. It's all over, but the lights being turned off tonight as the Choctaw Yellow Jackets pick up the victory 26-10. Ruffers dropped to 0-6 before coming home next Friday night for Hall of Fame night against the Bixby Spartans. Nick, in our final segment, we always take time to kind of point out 1 or 2 players that caught our eye throughout the night for our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game, and I think there's a couple of guys. One guy that went both ways all night long and sharing time offense and defense, and then a young man that also made some well-timed plays. It at least gets my thoughts, Devin Whitfield and Isaiah Givens.
Yeah, Devin's won once already. That shows you how far along he's come so far this year. Isaiah, this was by far the most he's had to work offensively. He had 26 carries tonight in the 28 carries in the game. Didn't have a whole lot of yards, 74 yards, but just that and then the effort he put forth on defense, having to play both ways, really a stellar effort tonight by Isaiah Givens.
And I think I would be remiss, Nick, if I just didn't notice the effort that went from start to finish. Despite the, when those missed scoring opportunities, you could have played Eeyore. You could have hung your head and said, okay, well, here we go again. But Muskogee kept battling throughout the night, kept fighting for it. And kept trying to stay in the ball game, and at one time had the 10-6 advantage, only trail 14-10 at halftime, and then eventually dropped the 26-10 decision. But it's a growing up opportunity for a very young group of football players. Like I said tonight, only 2 seniors on the defensive starting 11. That tells you there's a lot of growing up and a lot of opportunity ahead.
Really does, and you think about, you say, well, we've got freshmen playing, but you got to remember the freshman team, I think, is unbeaten so far this year. And so those guys, the 8th grade team has played well. So we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline for the Ruffers coming up.
But right now, the final score tonight tells the story. Choctaw 26, Muskogee 10. For our Ruffer TV crew, thanks for joining us. Thanks to our guys back in the studio of the station at 101.7 Okie Country for keeping things between the painted stripes. And for you for listening and following us along again here on Ruffer TV. For my good friend Nick Hampton and the Ruffer TV crew, I'm Bill Huddleston saying so long, and as always, in victory as well as in defeat, it's a great day to be a Ruffer. Good night, everybody.